Well, hello everybody. I want to do this live. It's so very important as we start to analyze what's institutionalized acts. Individuals who get involved who are there to hijack. I can tell you from labor to freedom movements, I've been there over 20 years. 20 years I've led some of the biggest labor strikes in history in certain provinces especially, and I got involved in the freedom movement, so to speak, early on from Yellow Vest all the way till now. I turned my back upon the convoy. I saw the danger, the hijack that I've seen so many times in my life. I entered politics 5 years ago today. I have a memory on my Facebook, and it's the registration of my political party in the province. And I never looked back since. I've focused strictly on politics, really getting things done. And there's narratives and people that come forward that are only there to screw you over, screw the people over. And I want to be clear to a lot of friends and followers who think these people are there to help you. A lot of grifters, a lot of Crown loyalist lovers. The biggest thing you should watch for, and I am not trying to be culturally racist here, but the United Kingdom. When you have British citizens who frequently travel to the United Kingdom, are in Manchester, in London, and they're telling you about freedom, I am sorry, but I can show you video after video of just millennials, those young generations struggling in the UK who fight back against the Crown, and they get the living shit beat out of them by the most institutionalized of the institutionalized. UK, as it is today, has a ton of wealth, not generated by its little island state, but by all the assets it holds worldwide, and it and its subjects don't want to let those assets go. I mean, they really don't want to let those go. So when I look at freedom movements and you have speakers from the United Kingdom or people who frequent the UK and they just love it to death, I have a real problem with those individuals, and Canadians need to wake up. They're not here for you. They're often very wealthy people who didn't get there from their skill set. They got there from their status as a UK subject, a higher grade on the pyramid scheme than all the colonial countries. Canada, subjects of Canada, and First Peoples, you're there too, but I want to really focus on the subjects. That's off reserve Indians, those who you can basically say fell into enfranchisement. Those, the subjects of Canada, you're below them. Often their businesses are successful not because they're better equipped or better trained or better educated than you, but because of their status as a subject in this hierarchy system, this pyramid scheme. They don't suffer at the rate you all suffer. And when they're here talking about freedom, talking about, oh, leadership should rotate constantly, I'm going to tell you right now, you show me any successful society, organization, or any corporation that rotates its hierarchy, its board of governorship on a regular basis. That is a recipe for disaster. That is constantly changing voices, direction, leading to anarchy. And your success rate goes way down here. That's why the movement's failing, because you have hundreds of voices, no cohesion, no solid message. That's why I'm not going out in February, because I don't see a solid message. When I see people talking about changing the world, that is a crown colonial narcissism. Changing the world. We're just 38 million people. The freedom movement is a very small minority right now. Very small, fragile minority. Hundreds of voices, 10 different directions, narcissistic beliefs of changing 8 billion people in the world. You've already been hijacked. If you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you. And it's why the more people share with me, the more I go, And you'll never catch me listening to UK citizens. I'm sorry, but the wall is there. That country, that institution has created a sick society. A lot of Irish and Scottish have fallen to it. Those that were incorporated into the 5-member nation, which is the UK today, have long since been institutionalized. Hundreds of years more than even Canada, Australia, New Zealand. It's very hard. We're watching Jamaica. A lot of people keep sharing to me Jamaica. I know all about it. I've made many videos about Jamaica and all the countries going through it, even when Brazil attempted, but did it in an autocratic way, and they failed. They failed miserably. Another hijack, even at the highest political level, another hijack. Academics from the US speak out about it. Do you know who you won't find speak out about it? The UK and UK's academics, UK's citizenry. I've watched videos of just 1 or 2 young millennial generation fighting back against the crown, and absolutely anybody over the age of 20 generally, all the way to the 70s, loves the crown, loves what it represents, even marching in streets where they hung subjects in the streets. It's still celebrated today. Charles walked that and he got egged. And they beat the shit out of that kid. And I'm not talking minority here. I'm talking a swath mob of institutionalized United Kingdom subjects. They're subjects. They're just higher level of the pyramid because they have all of these countries under them. Yes, 18 are directly under them, Canada being one of them. But folks, the membership of even republics who still keep the crown power, India still keeps the crown power, not dismembered, even in 1948. That's not dismembered. It's not dismembered. First Peoples talking about treaties. The treaties are human rights violations of the human redone, and it has to be a nation within a nation. That's what we're doing. Freedom of peoples. Give them self-government, real self-determination, and full settlement of the claims. It's not going to be restore Turtle Island. We're not out of their homes, farmers off their lands. We're going to take the crown lands that remain and divide it out 50-50 basis, Canadians and First Peoples. That's as fair as can be done. And anybody wanting anything more than that, you're not in the realm of reality. Either side of it. Either side of it. I hear the racism of regular Canadians on First Peoples. I see First Peoples with the racism on Canadians. I see it. And a self-stylized grandeur that's all been put into you by this crown in Canada from the United Kingdom's system that is far, far beyond even all of us in our sickness and our institutionalization. They're much, much more institutionalized, much, much more down with the crown. Can't trust that. You're better off focusing on Americans and American academia, because at least they broke from that. At least their system's designed to push back against that, even when it fails today on the international stage. The Jay Treaty, if you don't know by now, USA honors the Jay Treaty for all Canadian First Peoples. You don't need a passport. You can whip out a treaty card. You can go to the States. You can live a life there. You can come and go as you please. It is not the same in Canada. That treaty was thrown in the garbage. The Canadian Conservatives and Liberals, all parties of the time, but those two in power and in official majesty's opposition, said, fuck American Indians. You come on this side of the border, you will be enfranchised. You will follow our will. They don't care about the P5. USA enshrined that, and they went on and did monumental more, but Canada never has. And over again, you will find the criminal actions of the Canadian government, whether it was left, whether it was right, did not matter. The treaties themselves, putting people like animals on 0.2% of Canada, removing all forms of government, keeping them at a council basis, a municipal council, with no mayor. The Prime Minister is your mayor. All reserves. That's how it works. He issues a check every month through his system, tied in with the First Peoples. Total abuse, corruption of mass magnitude, and generating gross human rights violations on the magnitude of genocide. Wiping out a people culturally, spiritually, and financially. That's what they're doing. They've been doing it all along. They're never going to stop. Stop trusting people from other constitutional monarchies or people who are driven from the oppressor monarchical system that was placed on you, who are still making tremendous amounts of money because they don't want that system to end. These people have become very successful in life because of their status in the pyramid scheme. Do you trust people in the pyramid scheme making monumental amounts of money in the pyramid scheme? Or do you think they're a hijack? Because I can tell you, from labor to freedom movements all the way through my more than 20 years into it before I finally said I'm building my own political system over and over again, fine-tuning it. You need stability of people. You need people you can trust, not constantly rotating leadership and administration, because you're going to have 20 people going different directions and you're never going to have a vision, a truth, a path forward. That's reality, folks. I don't believe in having someone in power forever. I believe in term limits. But when you're building something, to make that reality, you need that stability. You need to get there. You have to have one vision, a simple path forward. If you start going this way, that way, in 10 different items, guess what? You've lost. You've already lost, and it shows. It shows. That movement continues to go down. People have cockamamie, narcissistic ideas of changing the entire world, and that's just not going to happen. Not only is that not going to happen, it's not even legal in this world. You have a wall of just too much, and we are little. It's hard enough to change the country. People need to wake up to these truths. Share if you want to get on a real path forward. Learn that you can't trust those in the monarchical system, those who are doing very well in it because they've already bent the knee. And they can say, oh, I know. No, you don't know. You weren't Canadian. You enjoy that United Kingdom. It's been very lucrative for you. And nothing in your history shows that you want to end that because it's done very well for you. I don't trust those people. I'll trust Americans 10 times more than I'll ever trust any of the crown colonial citizenry, especially when they're telling me about freedom. Freedom? You've been oppressed for 950 years as subjects, and you want me to believe that you know all about freedom? You only know about your place as a pig at the trough. All the politicians are like that. Many UK citizens are like that. I'm sorry, but they've learned to be like that. They accept that system. They love the crown. If you don't believe me, watch some of the videos on King Charles. Look what happens when you stand up to it. You get the shit beat out of you. Not only by the crown, but by those institutionalized lovers of it, which is a massive majority over there. So I don't trust citizens when it comes to freedom and breaking from. Want to keep the, don't want to challenge it. They love the pyramid scheme and they love to oppress because it's in their DNA. 10 plus generations. That's ingrained to them. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but So much for 5G, no better, but it's what it is. Okay, guys, that's my video. Get it shared out there. It's important. And people, focus on your country. Put everybody else out. You are the UN state called Canada, and there's legal rules that you can utilize in your movements as long as you focus on your country. As soon as you try to do multi-country, you've already lost. You've already lost because there's no legal system protecting you. There's nowhere to go except for straight to the government that oppresses you. That's the truth. Accept it or not, but that's the truth. And we can pretend the world isn't the way it is, but it is that way. Bye now.